Hi friends, and welcome back. So today we're going to talk about a CMA. A CMA is a comparative market analysis. So there's been other videos that I've referred to these, but this is where we're really going to dive in and we're going to talk about what makes a CMA and how I recommend the price of your home. In front of you, you can see this is my screen. This is one of the references that I typically use for CMAs. There's other things I use as well, but this is the primary one. Before we jump into this property that I'm going to show you is actually an expired listing that is just part of public record. This is not one that I've worked on, nor is it one that I've been to. So we're just going to use the public record facts and move forward with that. So with this resource that I have, I can see what the last list price was. I can see what the recommended price is now just based off public record. And then I can also view things like, oh, it has 6 beds and 4 baths. It's also 3124 square feet. So I can come down here and I can create a CMA. Now the CMA gives you 2 options. You can do a comparative analysis or you can do a sales comparison analysis. The difference is the sales comparison analysis is typically for an appraiser. Now I will say that appraisers do give us a little bit of a cheat sheet so that we can go in and do a more detailed evaluation of your home. However, I'm not an appraiser, so I do like to use the comparative analysis for just a general home valuation. So we're going to go in there. You typically will confirm the home facts. So here you've got, 6 bedrooms, 4 baths. Now, ordinarily this is not here. So I would go into the MLS, and I already have it pulled up for you, and I would look to see what the public record says. So 6 bedrooms, this is 3.5 baths. So it also tells you where it's at, the amenities that are there, all of the things. So we're going to go in, confirm. Then I'm going to find comps. Now, it's really important for me to mention that the comps, you have to compare property to property that are similar. I'm not going to take a rambler and compare that to a mansion. And I only say this because there are sometimes that there are clients that say, well, my neighbor down the street sold their house for $80,000 more than you're recommending for my house. Why? And there's a lot of factors that have to be taken into account for that. It could be the age of the property. It could be the amenities that are there. It could be that, your house has carpet that is, 50 years old, and that house down the street is not only 20 years younger than your house, but it's all hardwood floored. There's different things to take into account when it comes to the recommended price. But when I'm recommending a price for your house, it's not just because I'm pulling it out of thin air, like I said before. I'm actually working on the facts of your home and what the market is telling me that I should recommend for your house. Now, the same thing goes with an appraiser. When the appraiser comes out to say, yep, this house is definitely worth, X amount of money, they are not just pulling those numbers from thin air. They are doing the analysis themselves of the market. And let's use this fantastic example. I want a 0 entry pool. I don't have a pool at all, but I want a 0 entry pool. And before I became an agent, I was like, these pools are expensive, but you know what? If it's a 0 entry pool, I'm going to get all this money, added onto my house. And it's actually not true. After becoming an agent, I found out appraisers only give you about a $10,000, increase on the price of your house if you have a pool. Just because you spend a certain amount of money on, an addition onto your house, like a deck or a pool or whatever, doesn't mean that you're going to get that dollar amount added to the price of your house. So if you're adding things onto your house, you better be doing it because you absolutely love it and you're going to enjoy whatever the addition is, whether that's a deck, a pool, a sunroom, whatever it is. You better be adding it for you, not because you think you're going to get $1 million added onto your house. Okay, so finding comps. With this particular thing, unless the market's on fire, I like to do anywhere from 6 to 12 months. We're going to do 12 months because really right now the inventory in the market is not high. It's not where it has been. So we're going to give us a little bit of a buffer. The reason for this is, like, for example, my neighborhood. I have a desirable neighborhood, and I'm not telling you that because I'm like, oh, you should live where I live. I'm telling you that because very rarely do people move out of my neighborhood. So if I was to do an evaluation for my neighbor let's say, because they wanted to sell their house, and I wanted to only look in a half-mile radius for my neighborhood only and do it within the last 3 months, I'm really not going to find anything. There might have been 1 or 2 houses maybe in the last 12 months that have sold in my neighborhood. So I'm really doing my client a disservice if I'm looking in the last 3 months in an area where I know that there hasn't really been much for sale. So I'll do 12 months for this because inventory's been low in the last 12 months. So let's give us a buffer. Okay, so the standard for a CMA and finding comparables are homes that have sold. If you are looking at homes that are currently on the market, you're looking for what they are asking, not what they have received. You want to go with the standard of what they have received because that is saying, of course, someone has paid this amount of money for this home and it's putting it right at the market analysis. If I'm looking at something that hasn't sold yet, I don't know whether or not they're going to increase the price, drop the price, or whether it's going to completely expire altogether. So gold standard, things that have sold. So let's look at this home that we're comparing it to was built in 2015. It has 6 beds, 4 baths. You may not find homes that completely meet all of these standards, but you want to find something that's pretty close. So we've got 3124 here. So here we have 2014, sweet, 5 beds, 5 baths. Okay, that's pretty comparable, especially with the build of the home. Same thing here, so we're looking a little bit younger here, 5 beds, 5 baths. So see, this one's active and for sale. So I'm really not going to use that one if I don't have to. All right, so let's use this one. We'll use this one too. Okay, so I've got my 3. You can do more if you want, but I like to do 3, just so it doesn't muddy the waters too much. But you could do 4. 4's not bad, or more. All right, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to adjust the comps. Adjusting the comps is just that. You're going and you're looking at your subject property. Okay, compared to my subject property, is the first home, so this one right here, is this same, better, or worse? And I'm literally moving this dial from place to place. Now, if I was to do the sales comparison analysis, I would add in dollar amounts. That's why it's a little bit better to have an appraiser do that because, yes, I have a cheat sheet, but ultimately I'm adjusting prices of what they're going to have the say over. So I like to do this one, but I can do the sales comparison. Okay, so this one has 5 bedrooms, but my property has 6, so it's actually a little worse. Same thing with this. Worse, and then this one worse because of the amount of bedrooms. Now the total baths, this has 5, 5, and 5, and we have 4. So we're going to move it back. Square footage, this one is actually worse because it's got a little less. This one has just a little less, but this one absolutely has more than that. Lot size, we're looking at, see how big that lot is compared to, we're looking at a little bit better. This one, better. And this one is better. These all have garages, garage spaces, all 2. So this one is younger, this one is older, and this one is older. All have fully finished basements. So because of that, here we go with the adjustments. We're going to update the valuation. Okay, so based on the evaluation, it's saying the adjustments are minus $8,331, and that's based on all 3 properties. So the results of your analysis are a middle ground of $587,312. Now your range is anywhere from $486 to $643. It's a pretty big range. And it's saying you're about $188 per square foot. So at this point, I would just create the report. For my clients, I like to bind this. The reason that I like to bind this is because I think it's important to be able to take something home with you, digest all the information, because I like to do things in person or virtual meeting. Either way, I want to walk you through the discussion of why your property is being recommended to be priced at the price that it is. And I also think that you should be able to go home and highlight, write your notes and things like that, so that then if you've got questions, you have time to digest the information and come back and ask the questions. I don't ever want my clients to feel like they're put on the spot and say, well, do you like the price or not? Can we do this right now or not? I think you should have a few days to go home, digest the information, come back with your feedback. Okay, so here is the full report. So this is what I would give to my clients. And it'll give you all of the comps that I added that I just did right in front of you. It'll show you all of those. Literally, this bad boy is 73 pages long. So it does give you a decent amount of information to go off of. It also tells you livability, transportation, environment. It tells you all kinds of crazy good information. So it is really important to work with your agent. Understand that just because a recommended price is given to you does not mean that you have to go with that price. However, it is very important for you to have a conversation with both your agent and your lender to understand, with your lender's side of things, how much money you need to sell your home for because of the current note that's on it, if it's not paid off. But you have to also speak with your agent and have an active conversation. I always tell my clients, it does not help me to help you when your cards are close to your vest. If you are very open and honest with me and say, I really don't feel comfortable with that price and here's why, it's easier to work through that challenge. Now, if you say, whew, I was really hoping you were going to say that, or that's not enough, and I hope that you come back with another one, it makes it really difficult for your agent to meet you in the middle and sometimes educate you as to why the price is what it is. So, please, 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 if you are mine, please have an active conversation about why you like or dislike the price that was recommended so that you can meet in the middle. And then we'll bring in your lender and we'll say, hey, what's the deal? Do we need to do X, Y, Z? And they'll tell us. So no secrets, nothing. Your agent, me, I'm there to help you. So let's work together and come up with a fabulous price for your house so that we can get it sold in the time that you're comfortable with and for a price that makes you happy. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the content. And if you did, hit the like button below or give it a thumbs up. And if you've got any comments, I would love to see them. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day.